Okay, there it is. Hello people, welcome back to the channel CrustG-G, where today we're going to be adding more to the TV and movie mass multiverse chart. Web. Maybe? I think maybe this is a web chart, whatever. So most of this stuff is going to be up in that corner, but there are a couple things that I want to add having to do with this side and going to make this area a bit more crowded. Starting with The Office, connecting to one more show, kind of itself, the original Office from the UK. The one that The Office is a kind of spin-off of, though it was never confirmed until, well, it was to be a part of the same universe. This. Okay. From 2001. So the arrow will be going from here to there, but not only because it's a spin-off that didn't, but because a character from the original boss from this version interacts with Michael Scott for one scene. So, nope. Lower that. Sorry. But that's enough to confirm that it's in the same universe, you know? After that, Star Trek The Next Generation has a crossover with the show Webster. In the series finale, Webster travels to the future through events that happened in this series and meets a character called Worf. So, Next Generation, right there. See how this is going to be a bit of a problem? Let's try to make it fit. Webster 1989. Here. Up here, move this down. Move Webster here, and can I? Yeah, match. Even. After that, I did want to add in Nick and Hillary connected to the Taddingers. I know I said I wasn't going to before, but might as well. Why did I do that? So, moving up here. No. Right here. Because it's basically the same show, slightly different tone, and a different title, but from 1989. here? No, why? Okay, in there. Put this here. Yeah, good enough. Moving on. We're going to connect Oz to the beat. This one is kind of indirect because both Oz and the Beat, as well as another show that's already on the web, Homicide, right here, Life on the Streets. They all have the same fictional kiddie program, with the host being a character named Miss Sally. So they're all in the same world because they all have the same TV show that doesn't exist in the real world. Get it? Beat 2000. That looks fine. And I'm pretty sure Oz is done. So I don't need to add more there. Up next is Chicago Hope, connecting to the show called Early Edition. So Early Edition was a show where this guy, Gary, gets a future version of a newspaper by accident, throughout the series. Exactly. What if you had tomorrow's news today? Basically, the headlines tell him what bad things are going to happen before it actually happens, and he goes around stopping stuff. Gary's friend, Marissa, somehow comes into possession of a possibly cursed artifact, which may or may not have caused her to get sick, and then she's rushed to Chicago Hope. I guess I didn't need to explain the entire premise of the show for that. I just thought it was a fun concept. Early edition from 1996. Yep. Yeah, Chicago Hope onto Early Edition because the hospital and those characters are shown on the show even though they're in that environment. Whatever. Moving on. Early Edition connects to this show called Martial Law. The helmet discovered by the main character of this show, this guy, Samo. His mother is stolen and sent to the thief's mother or relative in Chicago, where the Early Edition takes place. And this guy, Gary, has to save both the person who stole the helmet and that guy's relative with this guy's help. So, Early Edition Mix martial law from 1998. Wait a second. Other way around. Oh, great. After martial law, actually martial law is also connected to another show, Walker, Texas Ranger. The stuff starts on martial law, but none of the crossover stuff happens until Walker, Texas Ranger. Really. Samo is chasing the bad guy, chases him to Texas, and teams up with, I think this guy's name is Walker. So, you know, the guy Chuck Norris is playing. Walker, Texas Ranger from 1993. Yeah. Okay, this thing can move in there. Martial law goes on to this show, basically. Alright. Then Walker, Texas Ranger spins off into another show, Sons of Thunder. I don't think it did very well. So, if you don't know about this one, don't worry about it. Yeah, start moving other stuff around. Seinfeld does not need to be that far up. Alright. Sons of Thunder from 1999. And it definitely didn't spin off or cross over with anything else, so that is fine staying down here. I might even move it to over. Yeah, I'll do this. There. There. Moving on. After all that, move on to Homicide: Life on the Street, which connects to Law and Order Special Victims Unit, and all of those spin-offs, which I'm going to cover today on this video. But first, the way they connect is Detective John Munch started as a main character on Homicide: Life on the Street, and then moved over to Law and Order Special Unit from 1999. This is gonna be a pain. Yeah, the main character goes over here. There were a bunch of other crossovers too, but they pretty much intermingled. They became their own things. But that was the biggest thing that happened, so that's how I'm deciding on the arrow. I don't remember, or I don't know what the original crossover between the two shows was. So, but then connects Special Victims Unit connects to the original Law and Order because it's a spin-off of that show. So, Law and Order from 1990, which I think it ran until 2010, and then the Special Victims Unit is still going on now. Maybe, possibly. Why is this all the way out here? I'll move stuff around as needed. After that, Special Victims Unit. Okay, with these, I just, again, put them in order of the release date. It didn't necessarily spin off from Special Victims Unit. It may have just been from Law and Order itself. Whatever. Not really important, but Law and Order, blah, blah, blah. I can't talk. Law and Order Criminal Intent from Special Victims Unit. Law and Order Criminal Intent from 2001. Looks right. These things really need shorter titles. I mean, come on. There, that looks fine. Alright, up next, Criminal Intent. Spun off, kind of, into Law and Order Trial by Jury, which I believe focuses more on the lawyer stuff, if I remember correctly, rather than the cop side of things. And Order Trial by Jury from 2005. Moving on, Trial by Jury spun off into, well, this one is shorter, a show called Conviction from 2006, which, it's weird having a Law and Order spin-off not called Law and Order, but at least it's smaller. Conviction. Oh, maybe this one is the more of the cop side of things. I don't know. 6. There we go. Oh, and here we go again. Conviction spun off into another Law and Order spin-off. Law and Order Los Angeles. From 2010. Yeah, I'm gonna move it back. I'm gonna move it to this side. Delete that. Here. There. Order. From 2010. All right. Oh yeah, and Los Angeles spins off into Law and Order Organized Crime. Sorry, my notes is there's a typo. I typed Loss and Order instead of Law and Order. Crime from 2021. Okay, move this down, move this over here, or it doesn't have to be all the way over there, just move the arrow, good. That way. Okay. Oh, there's no finishing with Law and Order. After that, Conviction actually has a crossover with the show called Deadline, which was kind of a part of the Law and Order franchise, but wasn't. Whatever. The same newspaper that the characters worked for on Deadline. The same fictional newspaper was used in the Law and Order series. And I guess it was used for conviction because there were rumors that they would have a crossover at some point, but Deadline didn't do well, only getting like 13 episodes, I think. But this fictional newspaper on these shows, that's fine. Moving on. Back to Special Victims Unit. Crossed over Detective Munch again into Arrested Development to try and get like evidence on what the Blues have been up to. Something like that. From 2003, which I didn't think that this show was that old. Why? And there's one thing I want to say about Arrested Development. There is a kind of crossover with Avengers Infinity War. One of the characters, I don't know which one, from Arrested Development really wants to be a part of the Blue Man Group, and at some point paints himself blue. He can be seen in one of the cases on Nowhere when Thanos has already gotten the Reality Stone. That's obviously just a nod to the show, not the actual character in the cage. But, you know, it's a fun nod that I really want to include, but it's really not enough to base that big of an assumption on. Whatever. Moving on. Law and Order the original connects to this show, New York Undercover. A character, Dr. Elizabeth Oliver. I think it was Olivet, actually. I don't know. The autocorrect must have changed it. Makes an appearance from Law and Order to New York Undercover. New York Undercover from 1994. Which, yeah, this one really makes more sense because I think this show was off the air before Special Victims Unit came out, the earliest spin-off from Law and Order, so it does make sense for it to be from the original. Then there is this one spin-off from Law and Order, kind of, Crime and Punishment. Its canonicity is very questionable because it's actual real-world court cases being broadcasted onto television. But I'm going to include it The same way I included cops, like the stuff that happened in the real world could be happening in Law and Order also. So since it's part of the franchise, and it's not going to connect anything else anyways, so why not add it? Punishment 2002. Yeah, this can go down here. This is getting very, very complicated. A very complicated arrangement. I really need to see if I can find somebody that can fix this up. Or maybe try and fix it up myself at some point. Okay. Alright, and we're on to the last crossover for this episode, for this video. Criminal Intent, Law and Order, Criminal Intent, makes a crossover into the show called In Plain Sight from 2008. Mary from this show shows up for a scene on Criminal Intent. Why did I have the arrow pointing the wrong way in my notes? Alright. Criminal Intent. Bring this up here. In Plain Sight. For 2008. Oh boy. And now lastly, there is something that I want to address. Newhart and the Bob Newhart show. Now, I remember when I added this on, I said that both this and I Dream of Jeannie are only here temporarily until I could maybe find another way to include them, where it's not just these were part of a dream that characters had in the 19th anniversary special of this show. But I did find a sort of way to kind of explain it, because there are a lot of other shows that can be connected through Newhart. But if this is a dream, then those shows can't be connected. And I really want them to be connected. So, there are these characters. Larry, Daryl, and Daryl. Yes. Daryl 1 and Daryl 2. From Newhart that show up in the Bob Newhart Show 19th Anniversary Special. The actors show up. Now, maybe the people that made the shows just wanted like a joke to freak out Bob, I believe it was Hartley in this show, just because he was freaking out about the vivid dream that he had that was the entire Newhart show. But in the credits, they are credited as the characters that they played on Newhart, meaning they were playing those characters. So somehow, what I think is that Bob Hartley dreamt about the life of another man. Dreamt about the life of another guy that actually exists in his world. And because of so many things that happened in this multiverse, that can't actually be too far-fetched. Now for these shows, probably far-fetched, but like I said, I really want Newhart to be a part of everything. So next time, I'll probably be branching off from Newhart. I Dream of Jeannie doesn't really connect anything else anyway, so I wasn't too worried about that. But if that happened with Bob Hartley, I think his name, then the guy that dreamed up of I Dream of Jeannie, that probably the same situation, him just dreaming of another guy's life in the same world. But anyways, I'm gonna leave it there for today. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, go and leave a like on the video. If you didn't, there's another button for that. If you want to see more from me, maybe catch up on this whole world that I've connected, go ahead and hit subscribe, ring the bell, be notified whenever I upload. These videos usually come up on Fridays, so if you just want to be here for that, come and check it out. If I made any mistakes, if I missed anything that can be added, go ahead and leave them in the comments down below. I appreciate the help. But until next time, hope you have a nice day. Bye.